We're not supposed to be complainers. We're not built to be that way. When you complain about things and you make excuses and you don't take ownership for where you are in life, it just makes you weaker. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the From Boys to Men show, brought to you by the Squire Program. I'm your host, Lheyton Cook, and I got a special episode for you guys today, man, because it was really inspired from a big transformation that I had in 2022. I was 26 at the time, and I thought I had it all figured out. You know, I obviously was trying to keep growing, and I was the kind of guy that, you know, always wanted to learn more and things like that. But for the most part, I thought I was dialed in for my age, and I'm 26, man. I feel like I'm ahead of, you know, my peers or whatever the case is. But this episode's kind of talk about the dangers of, you know, thinking that you have everything dialed in and figured out. You should always have the perspective that, you know, I'm not the perfect man, but I'm always the man that's on the journey to become the perfect man. And so, you know, I started to, you know, listen to more audiobooks, watch more YouTube shows and, you know, different podcasts, things like that. One of them that a lot of people probably would think was really controversial just from different reels that have went viral and stuff and seemed problematic was Fresh and Fit, actually, because of the different perspectives that they had on the show, the different walks of life, different cultures, different tax brackets, the guests that they had on their show. That was like the biggest thing too, like the guys that they brought on the show. A lot of them I didn't know who they were, so I learned who Bradley Martin was for the first time from seeing him on the show. Brandon Carter, I didn't know who he was before I saw that show, and different guys like that. And so I got to see them on that show, and then I kind of started watching them personally. And so I learned a lot over, you know, the last year or so of watching these guys personally, these guys that are, you know, high value men. For lack of a better term, I hate that word, but these guys that are doing awesome things in the world, man, trying to motivate people, help you become better, and just give you the game that they got and helped use to get them to the level they are today. So anyways, I have 4 things for you guys that I've used personally that I want to share with you that I think will help you guys dominate your 2024 and make things, make it a better year for you. Number 1 is stop making excuses. That's like got to be the top one, the first one that I get into. Very simple. I don't really have to go in depth about it because it's very simple, plain and simple. Stop making excuses. I don't believe that men should be making excuses. I think that you should, number 1, take ownership of where you are in life. I think that, you know, men shouldn't, we're not supposed to be complainers. We're not built to be that way. And I know someone's probably watching this like, well, you know what, you can't like vent or, you know, whatever. How are you just going to hold it in, bottle it in? I'm not saying you need to bottle it in per se, but there's a time and a place for it. There's a time and a place. Or if you have an issue, cool, you know, you have that issue, talk about it with your boys, whatever, or deal with it, let it out, whatever you have to do for a little bit, but then get right back into the action, get back to work. Because when you complain about things and you know, make excuses and you don't take ownership for where you are in life, it just makes you weaker every single time. So that's number 1. The second part of that is not being a victim and learning how to get clear about your vision, right? If you're trying to get to a certain place, you know, from point A to point B, meaning the beginning of 2024 to, you know, the end of 2024, you want to accomplish 1, 2, and 3, then you have to have a crystal clear vision. How else are you going to get to the goal if you don't have a game plan? And so if you don't already have a game plan, it's already, when this episode releases, maybe almost February, dude, you're already a month in. Like, you got to get a game plan. You got to have, you know, a battle plan of how you're going to get there. So if you haven't done it already, make sure you do that. And that way you're crystal clearing a vision and basically you're making yourself, you know, you can't fail, right? So that's the first thing, man. Number 2 is, you know, you got to start prioritizing your health by way of, you know, physical fitness and then also what you put in your bodies. That was a really big one for me too, man. Like, I have always been skinny, and right now I'm not big at all by any means, but working out's a lot more important to me. Working out is you know, is something that I almost can't function, I feel like, if I don't train for at least 30 to 45 minutes a day. And when I say fitness, it doesn't always just mean lifting weights. Like, you know, for you, it might not be lifting weights. It could be, you know, boxing. Like, I box all the time. Now I'm doing boxing 3 to 4 times a week. Preparing for a fight, actually. And so, you know, that might be it for you. Maybe that's, you know, maybe you're a runner, maybe you play football, like it could be sports, whatever it is. But I think that men need to get back to training and using their bodies, really people in general. But we got to use our bodies, man, because if we don't use it, we'll lose it. And so your muscles are really important part of your growth, right? So make sure you prioritize that. Take care of your physical fitness, but also too, watch what you put in your mouths too, man. Pause. Don't be freaking putting BS in your mouth, bro. Eating trash, McDonald's all the time, like always fast food. I get it. Sometimes it's convenient. Like especially if you're on the move, you're trying to do something, you're trying to accomplish a mission. You're just like, hey, let me go, slide over to Taco Bell real quick, whatever. But man, you got to make sure you're meal prepping, prioritizing your health. Like I said, wake up a little bit earlier. And to meal prep or whatever, or have a day. A lot of people's, it's Sunday because it's the first day of the week, and then boom, Monday through Friday they have their meals prepped. Whatever you have to do, figure it out. But having excuses is not an option for that. That's number 2. Next thing is be mindful of what you watch and you listen to, man. Like, you should be mindful of everything that you allow your brain to soak in. Like, that means what you watch on TV. We had like TV, movies, whatever it is. So no sad movies, like negative, documentaries talking about, I don't know. My wife's always watching crime documentaries, whatever, murder mysteries, whatever, man. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be listening to this all the time. Like some kid getting abducted and, whatever, abuse. Like, I can't. Like, I literally can't. Like, she can do that because we don't have the same mission. Like, hers is like in the house watching the kids. And actually, because of that, she probably likes watching that stuff because it makes her more aware of kind of, how to protect the kids, whatever. I'm outside. I'm supposed to be making the money. I'm trying to do this. And now I'm trying to build a business and a brand for the family. And so I have to protect my mind any way possible. So you guys should do the same thing. But it can also be music as well. Negative music, or maybe music that just doesn't really move you. Sometimes I think we just can kind of get caught up when we're driving in the car, we're just listening to music, we're not even really paying attention, we're just kind of, it's just background noise, which cool, that's fine sometimes. But also too, you can listen to music that motivates you, music that gets you going, that makes you, just keeps the hustle going and keeps you on your mission. Music about balling, music about making money and, like becoming more successful. Like for me, all of Rick Ross's Maybach music series, like it always gets me hyped up. I just got to keep moving. And you listen to the lyrics and the cars he's driving, the way he's living, and the businesses he's building. That's something that inspires me. And so you guys will have your music that inspires you. And I think that's important to make sure you're mindful of what you listen to and what you watch, especially when it comes to you wanting to dominate this year. And then lastly, another very important one. This is why I left it for last. If you're not in control of it, don't spend 5 minutes worrying about it. It's simple, and that's all I really have to say about it. It's literally a waste of your time, bro. It's a waste of your time to continue to worry about something, stress about something that you have no control over. There's a lot that you do have control of, but sometimes there are things that you have no control over, and there's nothing you can do about it. Someone passing away, maybe, I don't know, you just fell on tough times, like adversity hits you, the freaking universe, God like slaps you in the face, is beating your ass. Like, there's nothing you can do about it except roll with the punches, get better, just keep getting back up and just keep going. And I think those are things that, you can obviously feel. Like, we have to feel. I'm not saying to be a psychopath and not have feelings and never be sad or kind of get, shaken up a little bit, but we have to be very, resilient and be able to get back up very quickly and be able to just, all right, cool. All right. You know what I'm saying? Wipe off your shirt, dust off your chin, whatever, and just get back into motion, man. That's going to be a massive thing for you guys too, because we don't have time to sit around and sulk if you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to accomplish. So anyways, those are 4 lessons that I took from these different podcasts and listening to different people that I look up to and respect, Bedros being one of them, these different YouTube channels and people in my life and in person as well, that I think are going to help you a lot because it helped me a lot. And so anyways, if you got value from this episode, guys, do us a favor and like it and drop a comment on if you have any lessons that maybe you have gotten over the years that you think would serve somebody else, or other channels or things that you think people should listen to help them get through a better 24 for them as well. So anyways, we appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you next time.